Okay, after I finished reading this book, I said to myself, I have to meet this gentleman, Datuk Azrin Mohd Noor. He's the founder and group CEO of Sedania. This book is about non-conforming. I can identify with this. And there are lots of things in here which I feel that others need to know too, because it will help them not just in running a business, but in running your life. Datuk, thank you for doing this. Yeah. Now, the one interesting thing that I found in this book is when people ask you, what industry are you in? I'm in the banking industry, I'm in the service industry, but suddenly this is the very first time I actually see a fulfillment industry. You are running a fulfillment industry. I know you have your local SIM card business, and then your green billing, your acidic and all that. So that's what? Fulfillment industry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first you have to understand where it comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from the belief that there is a lot of product that's waiting to be found, and there's a lot of industry that's waiting to be born. So fulfillment is not known now. You're right. People, Datuk, fulfillment, what does it mean? So I said, well, you may not know it now, but 20 years from now, you'd be the first to come out and say, hey, I interviewed that guy, and that was the guy who created that fulfillment industry. And if that was the case 20 years from now, it'd be cool for you, equally for me. So fulfillment is this belief that I have, which I say I reject people classifying me or conforming me or stereotyping me within an industry, restricting me within an industry. You know, it's easy. Are you in ICT? Are you in technology? Are you in banking? So those technologies, those industries even were created 30 years, some 60 years, 70 years ago by a man too, right? So I am one of those men who creates an industry, who created a group of companies that falls under that industry, and that industry serves 7 billion people of this world. Which is cool.
In the book, you also mentioned, I don't like to go into business that were given birth during my father's lifetime, such as construction and manufacturing. I hate playing catch up. I prefer to lead and stay ahead, and I dare to be different.
True. Imagine if you're stop you there. Imagine you're on a race. Right? 10 guys, 100 meter dash. Don't you hate it? Somebody says, on your mark, get set, go, and everybody runs first, and then you have to wait. And then on the 6 seconds, somebody says, okay, start now, run. Okay, that's what it is. If I were to do any business like construction or development, right? These guys, the Tan Sri Deos and the Mustafa Kamal, they had a head start of 40 years. There is no way that if I were to go into that business, regardless of what competitive strategy or what textbook that they teach you in school to tell you to try and catch up, then the faster I run, the faster they will run too. So you will never catch up. So I understood that a long time ago, and I said, I'm not going to play this competitive game. So creating my own industry, creating my own space in terms of business, just allows me to create my own rules. And 10 years from now, I'll probably have some guys coming into my space and trying to be my competitor. But that competitor will have to conform to the rules that I set, which is super cool, right? So
it's not every day I get to meet a millionaire. I wake up on a Saturday I'm here meeting a millionaire who actually made his first million before. You made it before you reached 30. And I think it's not it's definitely not easy, but along the way you have a track record somehow. When you were in MRSM, you masak Maggi mee for your friends, and then when you were in Manchester, you opened a kedai mama and all that, and then you sold encyclopedia when others went clubbing, while waiting to go overseas and all that. Now those actually, I would say, experiences actually taught you to be very meticulous, very detailed and all that, in order for you to get your first million.
For sure. I think those, if I were to put a story to it, I could put all sorts of stories to it, right? But the fact is that I think I just loved it. I think I love the fact that when we were at school, we were all hungry. They all makan close. So people want to eat, but they can't go outside. So there's a huge demand for that. All I did was just fulfill that demand and make money along the way. So each and every venture that I went through was along those lines, and every venture that I went through taught me something new. Like I did trading that taught me about currency exchange, stock market. You could actually trade in commodities at an age of 18, and to know that as a knowledge at a young age can then help to progress and mutate into the thought processes, right?
Mhm.
When I was selling magazines and encyclopedia,
Yeah.
you know, the concept of canvassing, cold calling, tebal muka,
Yeah.
being rejected at a young age, for sure that will help you to develop as a person too.
Yeah.
So each and every one of those has its own quirks and quirks
Yeah.
and nuances to teach me some of the things in life.
Correct, but then again, it's not all a bed of roses, along the way. Because one chapter in the book which I found very interesting is that betrayal in business. You will be betrayed by your partners, and then you bounce back and you become stronger. And not everyone can actually come up and then be strong later on. Some people will just give up. Some people will commit suicide. Like in your case, where do you get that strength to actually move on? Yeah.
Because I was still fairly young.
Yeah.
And I keep on, well, I wrote in the book too, I
Yeah.
said, if it had happened a lot later in age,
Yeah.
when I'm probably weaker or probably
Yeah.
more frail, I probably, you never know, I maybe not have bounced back. But it happened at a time when I was still fairly young, I was still, in a way, ambitious, full of energy. But yeah, during that time, it was 2 months of darkness for me. But I seek solace that the fact when I come out of it, I would be a lot stronger, a lot better in terms of managing it as a business or an entrepreneur. So it's like coming out of a relationship, a bad relationship. You won't appreciate it then, but on hindsight, you're happy that it happened, because you become a lot better, a lot more perfect for your next partner. That's basically.